Yeah, someone guess what next country Nick is gonna hit before he comes back to see his friends in where we live. I the right guess is going to get an NFT for me sometime in like the next 10 years. I promise you. I don't know when, but I'll figure it out.
What country might be next to it?
I'm jumping on it.
What about Canada? Right on.
Three, two, one.
Hey, what's poppin'? Yeah, we're back here at Kick Blocks Podcast. My name's Nick.
Dro.
And this week we're going to be discussing a project that Dro just built. We're super excited about the start of us sort of developing not only content but also products around the podcasting Web3 space. We're also going to be going over some of the hot tweets we've been seeing this week, just content, people, things that people have been talking about. But overall, Dro, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a minute. You've been traveling, I think. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I just got back from vacation.
Hey, that's
I
nice.
was in Brazil for a little bit. That was real
Mhm,
fun. Um,
mhm.
but that really was a little break from developing and everything because I had my nose in the development space like for
Yeah.
a few hours a day right before that. So it was nice to kind of be outside and to get some
Yeah.
sun. But I'm glad to be here and talking to you, Nick. Man, I haven't seen you in a little bit now. There's a lot of shit that's happening in the space, right?
Loads of stuff is going on. Loads of stuff is going on. Yeah, I'm traveling too. I'm in Puerto Rico for a couple days here, hanging out for what is it, March now. And so yeah, it's exciting to be on the road and be mobile and be very decentralized as a pod. Um,
Yeah, can't just speak it. We gotta live it, right?
exactly, exactly, exactly. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the project. I think you showed me, you sent me some links, but run through how did you build this? What is it? What are we looking at?
Right. So, if anybody listened to I think it was our second podcast and our WTF, I mentioned Build Space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been going through Build Space to go through their project that's called Build a Web3 app with Solidity and plus Ethereum smart contracts. So basically, it was a cute little way to kind of dabble in what it's like to develop on the Ethereum platform. Um, I should give some context to people. My background with development, I'm not a 100% newbie. I've been a QA engineer for a software company. I've taken web design courses in college, and I've taken coding classes as well, database classes. But in
Mm-hmm.
no way have I ever been a developer. Really,
Mm-hmm.
I've never published any code to production or anything like that. I've only just
Mm-hmm.
really dabbled. I mean, I made some HTML, CSS websites in college and stuff for
Mm-hmm.
homework and
Something like.
midterms and finals. But really, I'm not a developer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aspiring a developer now, but I haven't really done anything up till this project.
Mm-hmm.
So with this project, like Nick said, what better way to learn about Web3 space and than to live in it, right? So I decided to create a sort of inbox for us, Nick, right? So
Okay,
here's
cool.
the elevator pitch, right? You could essentially send us a little message, and that message will live on the blockchain forever,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the potential of adding functionality. For example, let's say Nick and I, we really like the message, right? You might get a reply from us. Maybe you might win some Ethereum. Who knows? You know, it's
Wait,
actually
are we
not.
committing to that? I don't
No, we're not. What's it called?
know.
But that the idea is, that's one of the ideas that they kind of present in the tutorial
Mm-hmm.
as a way to, you know, engagement or just testing something out, just seeing what you could do, right? Because for
Mm-hmm.
example, just learning how to do that, people, I'm sure, people have already built like casino, like Web3 projects, like where
Oh,
you're gambling and shit. And
that's
so
crazy.
there's a level of utility in just learning that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, for this project,
Mm-hmm.
we worked in the Ethereum testnet, meaning all the ETH you see is all fake. It's all in the testnet. It has no US real dollar value,
Oh,
right?
it's monopoly money. Yeah, I
It's
got you.
monopoly money right now.
Yeah.
But the idea is, right, that you build it in this space, in this testing space where you're not really using real life money
Mm-hmm.
to perform the actions. And then when you're ready, you put it on the production database. Now that'll obviously cost people money. Once
Mm-hmm.
we were ready to present this live, it would cost us some money to get it started up. But really, what I've seen in the Web3 space, what I want to build is not the promise of anything. I just want to build little things for our audience to be able to interact with us, right? So
Yeah.
it would be really cool if somebody in our audience just made a wallet just to be able to say hi to us in our Ethereum inbox, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I actually mentioned this to one of our friends who's really heavy into DeFi.
Oh,
Shout out
cool.
to my boy Mikhail, who says he's been
Hey.
in DeFi for who's for a little bit now. So
Oh,
we
cool.
gotta get him on here because he's a apparently I think he's a little bit of a DeFi whale, but
Oh
we'll see what he
man,
has to say
he's
about
loaded
that.
up.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so he even like mentioned some other blockchains which are more efficient at processing these transactions, right? So as a
Oh,
developer,
cool.
I have to decide, will this live on Ethereum? Will it live on Polygon? Will it live on Avalanche? You know, like so it'll
Oh,
be
you're going to layer two.
so we're really going to in this project though dive into what it's like to develop on Ethereum. So
Cool. Awesome.
that's what I've been doing. Nick, you did get some sneak peeks already, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
got
yeah. Yeah, let the people at home see it, and make sure we're gonna make sure it's very descriptive for everybody who's listening in at home while
right.
Joe's sharing.
So for everybody who's watching this on a video platform right now, I'm going to share what build space looks like for a completed project. As you see here, our build space really what they do is they kind of divide it into a few sections, right? And it's like any tutorial. It's like it probably looks like somebody's like campus homework,
Hmm.
like what's it called account too, right?
Hmm.
But it's real cool. You go in, and I don't wanna give up too many details, I guess, but they really do a good job of presenting things well. So I'll let you guys go through it and experience it yourself. I'm not gonna really sit here and go through each one. What I will do is show you what we have. So here's a little bit of under the hood of the type of things that you would be see. Don't worry about what any of this means right now. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you, but I just want you to understand that I've never done this until this project really, despite having my technical background, right?
Hmm.
And I was able to do this in a few days.
Cool.
And what we have is this.
Hey,
That all cultivated into this. And so
on brand.
let me do a little something here. So for some people, this is the first time that they're even seeing a wallet, right?
Hmm.
So right
So what
here,
wallet are you using there? That looks like you're using MetaMask,
so we have
and
a lot going on here, right?
yeah.
We have a lot going on here. This is MetaMask. For those who are familiar, this is nothing new. But what might be different for a lot of people is this is the Rinkebi test network. I'm not on the Ethereum mainnet where everybody does all of their important like buying of their NFTs and just
Hmm.
whatever everyone holds or stuff. No, I'm on a test network on a development
I've been
account.
I've been calling it Rinkby. I'm-
Rinkeby. It could be Rinkebi, Rinkeby.
I
Who
like
knows?
Rink. I like
Who knows what
Rinkby.
it is? Yeah, it could be whatever you want, really. But
Yeah.
the biggest part is getting this connected to this website.
Cool.
This website is a Web2 website until it connects here, right? This is still HTML and CSS. Like, I'm talking about there's a CSS page here. Anybody who knows CSS will understand, like, oh, okay, I have an index that HTML. Like, this is the same, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
What I've done is I've integrated this with this this blockchain. So what have I built? We're gonna present a way for our audience, right, to have a little inbox to type out a message to us. So,
Hmm.
hi, Dro and Nick. My first Web3 message. Once you have a message crafted for us, all you have to do is click wave at me. You'll see that your interact in your MetaMask account with this is going to cost you some fake Ethereum right now. Eventually, we're looking to
Hmm.
be able to develop something efficient enough so you don't have to pay anything just to say hi to us, right?
Hmm.
And so that'd be the next level of this, right?
Hmm.
So, but once we confirm that, have a little interactive little loading bar right there.
Hmm.
I like to call that um, uh, like a headache really, because it took me forever to figure out how the fuck to make it that
To make a little
size.
Lodi bar.
Yeah, to make the little loading bar. It's one of those things that like it took you're not proud of it taking you that long, but you will always remember that it took you that long. So,
I saw something recently like that. Like somebody was trying to like work on their front end stuff, and then they made like a loading like spinning thing, but the word load was spinning around as well. And the guy was
oh, so as you see the interaction finished here, and when we refresh, my wallet is no longer connected, so I'm gonna just connect there, and we see down here our first message.
got it. Awesome. Wait, so okay, couple things I wanted to highlight. This is like a really great platform, build space for learning. Another platform that I think is interesting to highlight here is Replit, right? So Replit has
Hmm.
the entire development environment that you're using is not on your computer. It's actually in on the browser, right? And so that's a big thing for people that are learning. You don't have to set up all the things. You don't have to download lots of stuff. You're ready to code and you're ready to deploy right there from your browser. And so Replit, even though it's not a Web3 technology, I think is a big, exciting technology that is coming up because people are now being invited in. It's making coding more social. People are more easily able to share things and get started right away.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Replit has been amazing, and what I do have to shout out Build Space for is they kind of show you both ways because it is important to have both ways, right? So I'm gonna stop sharing here. I'm gonna do a little preaching, just like really quick.
Hmm.
It's very easy to kind of get into the copy, paste, and just go through and brute force your way through a tutorial type of thing. You'll get there probably,
Yeah.
right? Like you'll probably finish. Good thing that Build Space does is they want to try to teach you the fundamentals too. So you
Hmm.
do go through deploying a local network on your machine,
Oh,
right?
word.
To just experience what it's like,
Yeah.
right? Because while Replit is amazing as a tool, you should
Hmm.
understand what Replit's doing for you,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
you can really appreciate like how easy they're making your life.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah.
Makes sense.
So that's what I've been up to, man. It's been real fun to the experience. I mean, it is a simple website, right? But it was just exciting to finally get it integrated with that test net, right?
Yeah.
The next thing will be essentially creating NFTs, honestly. Like it'll be building an NFT project on the testnet just to experience what it's like to develop a contract that mints NFTs. You know
Oh, word.
what it's like to create them and work on the metadata of all the traits, you know, that people go crazy over on their
Hmm.
NFTs. You know, I'll have like a maybe I'll make a Knyck one of one
Hey.
fucking like Godzilla, you know, have like a big like DJ headset
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know like
Yeah.
who I can make whatever you know whatever type of thing, but the cool thing will be learning how you can deploy that right and how we can get them. You know, the idea is maybe we get the Kickbox Pod NFT, you know, and just a free airdrop to our audience members, just
Hmm.
cause whatever it may be, you know. In this case, the plan is and the idea is to do it just to do it, you know, and to
Hmm.
learn. And I think that's in the spirit of Web3 in this new space. You know, after speaking with some of our guests, you know, a lot of their experience that they got was just by doing it, just
Yeah.
by just being present and participating in the building.
Hmm. No, 100%. Yes, I think I would encourage everyone, if you're interested, if you feel like it's scary, check it out. Check out Build Space. Dive in. It seems like it's really exciting and really like rewarding to be able to build something like that, drop it, and then see it working, connecting your wallet, and that's super exciting as well. Speaking of NFTs, I've actually been working on like a one of one collection that I'm releasing on the Solana blockchain through SolSea, and it's a very similar thing when you're like minting your NFTs and you're adding attributes and traits. It's there's a lot of like layers of abstraction when you're using a platform like SolSea, but you're actually like collecting or connecting your wallet and seeing those things go up
Mhm.
and actually like putting it in other people's wallets. And so it's exciting to see, just testing it out and becoming part of the ecosystem. So I definitely feel you there. Any other comments there, Jolie? Anything you want to tell people about like what to do next, or I know you said you're working on your projects for NFTs later, so I think that's really exciting.
I think the biggest thing I would say is if anybody's interested in doing this, it's probably because they're looking into it as for a career, right?
Hmm.
So if you're looking into it as a career, just remember that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Hmm.
Remember that every day, learning just a little bit more is the goal, right?
Hmm.
And that eventually you'll be really good, but it's not gonna happen in your first project or your first week or even your first
Hmm.
month, you know?
Hmm.
It's gonna take a while, but the idea is to just keep building,
Yeah.
build so much that eventually somebody's just gonna hit you up and see what you built and try
Yo,
to.
I need one of those.
Yeah, no, but really,
Yeah.
right? And that's what come to learn when we'll talk about some of our tweets that we've seen later on, right? I've been following so many developers on Twitter that just kind of post, hey, check this article out or check this out, and and doing that every day, even if I don't get the chance to code like I was on vacation, just kind of like reading through those Twitter threads and seeing discussions amongst developers, is ingesting that thing, even if that's all you do that day because you just need a break from coding, right? Or that's fine. And please take a break from coding. Go outside, take a walk around.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
take
yeah,
get a
yeah.
brush of fresh air. You need it. You need a clear head. You need to be able to think, and then sit down and get to it. Get to it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, honestly, like if you need motivation, Solidity devs are in high demand right now. So if you're looking for
A
that tech paycheck,
fucking yo! I saw
yeah,
$750,000 a year salaries.
bruh.
I mean, obviously you would have had to have been doing this for like 5 years now, so you would have to have been like super early into like the early, but
Yeah,
that's where this is going, right? So like, let's say you start today, right?
yeah.
And in just 2.5 years, someone goes, yeah, I'll pay you like 200, 300K a year because you know
Mm.
this. Will you put in the work right now to
That's a
do
pretty
it,
good. That's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. I could do a
right?
lot. You could buy a lot of gumballs with
And in
300K.
between, you'll get the 50, the 80, the 100, the 120.
Hmm.
So like in between, you'll get that. It's just put in the work
Yeah,
because
and these are life changing. These are life changing skills. These are things you don't need to go to college for. If you pull up and you can deploy and you can
oh no,
you can use Solidity, like no one's gonna be like, what's your GPA? Like what's no, like they're gonna be like, yo, come over here. We need you for a project. Um,
exactly, man. Like a lot of I think a lot of the people who have access to, for example, our podcast and who are even listening to these type of things usually have a decent laptop, right, or a computer
mhm.
or somewhere to build on, right?
Not me, but other people. Yeah,
Not us here who recording
not
this.
my computer, but other people.
But for the most part, rep
Yeah.
tools like Replit really let you do that without needing to worry about, how powerful your computer is anymore. Once you get into the professional level grading of developing, if you want to do stuff locally because you're doing custom stuff,
Mhm.
hey, by then you'll probably be getting paid to do it. So someone will
Yeah.
probably have shipped you a Mac.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
talking about? Like someone will
When that
probably
work laptop comes in, you're like, oh boy.
exactly. So just keep at it, man. Anybody who wants to
Mhm.
build, by all means, yo. If you wanna, if you wanna shoot over your GitHub, your Replit repo, whatever you wanna do to me, in the spirit of open source stuff, like I could use some experience reviewing some code too. So by all
Yeah.
means, like hit us up here at the Kickbox Pod. Let us know what projects you're working on. We'll take a look at the
Hmm.
code. We'll even present some of them here if we think they're cool.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah. Everybody send in projects and we'll just test them out, connect our wallets.
Yeah.
We'll let you drain our ETH. Like, let's go.
It's all testy anyway.
Oh yeah, 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 exactly.
So
Okay.
for real, man, like yeah, let us know, man. And the nature of building and crowd and like open source is to just collaborate like that. So
For sure,
super
for sure,
excited.
for sure. All right, cool, awesome. Let's switch to looking at some of the tweets we've been looking at this week from the account.
Ooh.
What's been popping up? All right, cool. So you can see my screen. And we just got a lot of different kind of stuff. So first up is Carson Turner. He says, "I've got no issue with people selling Bored Ape Yacht Club. You've got to take those profits and let us be happy for you. You've in some cases helped from mint or single digit ETH. Thanks for helping build this community. And also, I'm very excited to see the people that dreamed about getting in finally in." Jero, how do you feel when you see people selling and you're part of a community? Are you happy for them, or are you like, nah, bro, you're ruining the floor? Like, how do you feel about it?
I think you have to be happy for them
Hmm.
if you're gonna be a community that is gonna promote that you want people to win. These are the life changing sales,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know the exact number, so I don't want to. I'm not going to say that a majority or a few, or because I don't know, right? I don't know how many whale holders there are in Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. I don't know how many unique holders there are.
Hmm.
I'm going to see if I can try to find that out real quick. But
Hmm.
let's say it is just somebody who's been holding on to that since the beginning and just got real lucky,
Yeah.
right? And they want the $250,000 because that'll pay off the rest of their debt and their house and their
Yeah.
bills and all, like how can you be mad at somebody, right, who goes, yes, I want my life changed for the better,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
I've heard of other stories from other communities where someone sold their NFT
Hmm.
to pay for heart surgery.
Yeah.
So the community in turn helped buy back the NFT he had to sell for his heart surgery.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Right? So community Joe, so when those type of communities exist and you can see that on top of that there's developers behind them building
Hmm.
things, right? The Board Ape Yacht Club, what is it, PFP, they have they're a cultural hit,
Yeah.
right? Some other things are just community based. We spoke about with Wilder World and the community manager there, and how great things are there, and the stories there, and what you can build when there's a positive, message to be given, right?
Yeah.
I think that if anybody in that space is mad about people's lives being changed, they need to take a look at, the humanity aspects for a second and just take a
Yeah.
step back, right? You can't be mad at that, bro. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 100%. No, I'm definitely on board with you there. I mean, along with that, I mean, what do you think about people saying NFTs are dead? That to me just sounds like, because like that's like saying websites are dead in like in 1999, or like right after the dot-com bust. Yeah, like loads of things are going to zero, but I think NFTs are a foundational technology. It doesn't feel like, I think that there's lots of room for growth. I think there's a lot of exciting things still happening. And even though we're definitely in a down market currently, and that's, sorry, I didn't call him out, it's Captain Trippy. Um, I definitely am against this one, or I guess I'm with him, but I think people are crazy that think NFTs are dead. What do you think, John?
Yeah, nowhere NFTs dead when they're still fucking worth like thousands of dollars, bro. Like you can't. No, I mean
My
if you.
NFTs, my shit is going up. Like I bought Solana Money Boys at like 1 Sol, 2 Sol, and mine are at like 8, 10, 13. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, so but that's the thing, right? That's the thing. In January, we had a market where everything just fucking popped, and we're shit. I don't, we're not really market analysts or anything, right? But
no.
if you just heard everybody in January was super happy about NFTs, right?
Hmm.
If you were just on Twitter, TikTok, everyone, right? Everyone was making money, and now not everybody's making money. Now a lot of people are losing money,
Hmm.
right? And I think it's natural. I think it's
Hmm.
natural for people to overreact, right? What you don't want to be caught doing though is being in denial that these type of cycles exist, right? Being in
Yeah.
denial that like world events and markets crashing and things are going to affect your bags, right?
Yeah.
So, if anything, take this as a moment to kind of reflect and look at projects and say, okay, this some bullshit.
This-
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
a-
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think that's in any, in any news, right? When an NBA player drops like 60 points and the buzzer beater, right? Everyone starts
Hmm.
saying that he's the best player in the league. That, what I'm talking about. There's gonna be an overreaction, and it might have some truth.
Yeah. No, for sure. That makes a lot of sense.
You know,
I think
it
definitely
might
some.
have some.
No, let's
Yeah.
be honest. Some NFTs are dead. Like some NFTs are dead, but the concept, the structure, the tech, the passion, definitely not dead. I think it's
No,
still
no way,
popping.
no way.
Um,
You,
Next
there's no
year, this
way
is
it's
not
dead.
even one of the things we. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, exactly. No, just there's no way it's dead, right? It's people. The market's down right now, but a whole new technology doesn't just die, right? Like
Yeah.
it, like even if people just stop trading NFTs because that just goes to shit, right? The NFT technology, the usage of it still exists, and you
Hmm.
know people are still gonna use it. So
PFPs might be on the downturn, but like
yeah,
even those, I think are still fun, interesting, and like I wouldn't count them out. You know, like there's still a lot of interesting art going on. We still haven't like scraped the surface. I think something we didn't even retweet, but it looks like Bloomberg Crypto yesterday tweeted out about President Biden to sign crypto executive order this week as industry faces sanctions pressure. I do know we've been expecting crypto executive orders for a while now. I saw some of the details earlier about it. I think it's gonna, I think government oversight is something that has been welcomed by a lot of like leaders in the space because when you have clear laws, clear rules, it makes it easier and safer to start businesses. Um, any thoughts there, Joe? What are you thinking?
you have to. I mean, we spoke about this with one of our guests, right? That
Yeah.
you have to understand that in a completely decentralized world, the risk that comes in that with that, you know, the ability to get scammed and rugged and all that, right, comes with the freedom of just being able to deploy that fast,
Hmm.
right? So I welcome the government um regulation because I think it's going to more like solidify and legitimize crypto in the world if people see that the government is taking it serious, right? Even if I don't necessarily think that the government's best intentions, they could completely fuck it up, right? They could completely
As they often do.
right, they could completely just mess it up, right? But it's not really we're not really worried if they mess it up as long as it just works in the world, right? Like
Hmm.
for us and anybody listen to us is probably in the United States, right? Maybe we get some international listeners out in South
Hmm.
America or Europe or these countries where crypto is really popular in like in Southern Asia, and so like maybe you start getting these type of audience members, right? But when you and I are talking, we're really thinking about um the United States, right? Right. And so if the United States doesn't get this right, that's one thing, right? But if as long as the United States can adopt it, I think people will start to legitimize and kind of like trust it more.
No, for sure, for sure, for sure. I think, yeah, I wanted to also get into this next tweet. Cody Boston 19. He said, "I really respect people that's twice my age that's grinding in the NFT space. If you're in your late 30s and 40s, mad respect to you, boomers. Mad disrespectful, Cody. Didn't need that kind of language. But I think it is beautiful the way that the NFT space is all ages. I think it's crazy how like kids in college, teenagers are like out here like being like amazing, like super shadowy super coders. I think it's great that like older people are big and in the space too. Everyone of all ages can be an artist. Everyone of all ages can be a developer, and so it seems great and seems natural that like people at that intersection are of all ages and are participating. And so I think that that's one of my favorite things about, like, for example, house music. When you like go to a house show, it's not just like young people. It's like I'll pull up and I'll see like a 70-year-old, and like the same thing with like crypto and Web3. I hope I have like NFTs when I'm like 82. Like I hope. Oh, you know what's funny too? I think I've seen NFTs where they age over time, and so if your NFT was mad old and you were mad old, I think that'd be funny. So
That would be
that'd be mad
ridiculous.
cute. Scrolling down here, um, this was something I saw like in 1994. Jeff Bezos famously spotted a stat that made him leave his high-paying PE job to start Amazon. The internet was growing at 2,300% per year, and what are generation-defining stats of today? She posted a few to kick things off. Are there any stats that you were thinking of, Joe? I can go into her thing, and this is not specifically Web3, just overall tech focused. She was talking about the cost of mapping a genome has fallen over 100,000% over the last 15 years. That's definitely going to be wild. College tuition has outpaced how much people earn by almost 10 times. We were talking about this earlier about how you can just go and learn to code and develop yourself right now.
Yeah, you don't
Cyber
need
and
all that.
cyber insurance loss ratios increased for years, and so there's a lot of different things that are going on right now. I think um, just I think when you're trying to spot like changes like this in the world, keep an eye out for these things. I think people said that the crypto industry is growing, but wallets are growing at the same sort of rate that the internet was growing back in the day. And so I think that's why one of the reasons I'm really excited to be part of this space.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think we should take a second to discuss real quick, um, with everything going on with Russia and Ukraine, and this isn't a political podcast in any way, but the way it's affecting crypto and Ukraine using crypto wallets as a way to receive donations from all over the world to fund their efforts to defend their country, right? It's a use case that you we can't ignore, and we have to talk about. In no way is it a pleasant thing to talk about. War. Um, I can't say that I've ever experienced it. I've lived a pretty privileged life, and I can't really speak on war. Um, but what was a silver lining in what is a really horrible tragedy here going on is Ukraine being able to use wallets and the blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies to receive donations from across the world to use, something that before could have taken way longer or could have been impossible in general in a way to support them.
Yeah,
So that is an insane, I think, use case that uh is one of those big flags, right? That those big alerts that this is real, right? That this is a real technology in the world that's here to stay.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm definitely on board with that too. And I think um, Vitalik posted, he's like, the tech is neutral, but I'm not. And
Yeah.
so it's, it's something that like there's a lot of questions to be answered, but I think it's exciting to see the Ukrainian people using it for a positive good, and us trying to find our way forward and find these answers because I think that they are important questions. Another very important question here from Crypto McSteamy. He said he's talking about NFT taxes. This is a long thread, but you should go check out our Twitter. Anybody who's scared about your taxes this year, anybody who lost crazy amounts of money buying crypto dick butts, anybody who like anybody who is trying to figure out what they're going to
Hey
tell
yo.
anybody is stressed about what they're going to be doing, come whenever you do your taxes. I do my taxes on the last day every year, so it's gonna be stressful. Check out his thread. He has a thread that's getting a lot of traction here. Makes it a lot simpler, and should be a good resource for people. So definitely go check that out.
Yeah, I definitely, the way, like, I didn't do any trading in December, and that's when I started. So this year, am I next year? Next year, I'm gonna hit up all these tax threads about what's going on, because I might have to
Oh,
do it.
you started in January.
Yeah, pretty much. I got in.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get wrecked. I'm gonna get wrecked. I know.
Well, hey, look, if you did get wrecked for a loss, make
Yeah.
sure that you claim it on your taxes. Hey, bro,
Yo.
look, I'm being serious, yo. If all these rich people can do it and claim a loss and get
Yeah.
these tax cuts and everything, right? That's for us too. That's for us
Yeah. No,
too.
100%.
Learn
No,
up,
100%. I
learn
need that.
up, research up. If you have a loss, by
I'm
all
gonna count
means,
my
bro.
L's. I'm counting my L's. Yo, my Doge, my Doge. um, OX Gout or God, is there a way to talk about working in crypto without it being embarrassing? Uh,
Oh, you're just projecting, bro. You're just projecting. Nah, you can't be
yeah,
embarrassed about where you're working in. I think I've yet to meet somebody who got mad at me for talking about crypto. Because usually, if we're talking about crypto, it's because I can kind of like see that they want to talk about it. I don't just walk around going like,
Web
"Hey."
three, Web three, Web three. Hey, I got Web three over here. I got Doge. I got Doge.
Not walking around with a big Gary V shirt across my chest, like, "Yo, you got
Yo, I have
NFTs?"
a friend that hates NFTs, and it's because his entire like recommendation page on Instagram is all NFTs, and I'm like, bro, because that's the thing you interact with the most. If you would interact with anything else, but it's straight Gary V videos, and I feel so bad for him because like I mean I love Gary V, but like oh, like I couldn't like have that be my entire like timeline. That'd
Oh
be
no,
crazy.
no, 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 no. That'd be insane. What kind of life is that?
That's his life.
Someone help that man.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna try to send help. Nicole Benham, mass adoption won't happen if crypto influencers keep tweeting as if everyone on Earth already knows about cryptography, public keys, and fiat. This is a new language. Define the terms you use.
Yes.
Please call us out if we're ever using any terms you don't know. But as you know, we're still trying to figure out how to pronounce Rinkeby. And
Rinkaby.
Rinkeby, Rinkeby.
Rinkababa. No, but this is so
Yeah.
true. This is
This is
so
why we
true.
started the podcast. Yeah, to
Yes,
make it
this
so
is
that
the
people could
point.
understand it. So please call us out. Let us know. Reach out, head to our website and submit. If you have a question that you're like, I have no idea what this means or I want to know more about it,
Yeah.
let us
For
know.
now,
Hit our
DM
DMs.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
DM us. Leave a comments in our YouTube channels, in our YouTube
Text
videos.
me.
Yo, his number is no.
No, no,
We're
chill,
not
chill.
gonna-
I'm not gonna do that.
no, I'm about to dox you for real. No,
No,
um,
chill.
no, but for real, DM us, leave us comments. We'd love to start interacting with our listeners and answering your questions, even if it's something you really want. Shit, we'll dive into a whole episode worth of shit if your question is good enough, and we think it would be beneficial, because our whole mission with this podcast is to teach you guys, right? So I like that one.
Yeah, and then same sort of like theme there from Racial Chalk, Hey Chakra on Twitter says, okay, what Web3 could be is finally making more sense to me. Wow, a lot. But man, we need to relate to people's lived stories and problems on a more human level. Bringing in more lingo only confuses and overwhelms the general public. So really reiterating what Nicole said there, I think it's so important for us all to make sure that we're conscientious when we're sharing this information. And remember that we haven't even hit, I think, 5% penetration with wallets. Nobody, we're super early, and so if you're a bad actor, if you're being, excluding people, if you're being, bad energy in this space, it reflects poorly on the tech, it reflects poorly on the things that you're trying to promote. And so it's really important to be welcoming, really important to understand people, to be open, and to be easy on people who are still learning. Because, we were all there, we've all, missed a mint or done something silly or like, and so it's important to be, open to people that are still learning.
Yeah, I wish that everybody's first experience with talking about it would be better. You know what this reminds me? Because I think if your first experience with it is somebody who just starts throwing all these acronyms, all these words at you, and just calls you dumb for not investing your net worth into it already, like
Hmm.
that's just a bad introduction to it. It reminds me of a friend I had in college who their first experience with any type of cannabis was taking like an edible all while they were on like summer vacation out in another country,
Oh no.
and they just felt horrible. It was just a horrible experience, and it was because, bro, like it's just not the right moment to do things. It wasn't the right way for somebody to experience it, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that your first interaction with something will set your tone for that for the rapper, right? So I
Yeah.
wish that people with crypto would just kind of chill out, bro.
Yeah,
Chill
yeah.
out,
People
bro.
screaming like "Stay poor" is like I'm still kind of poor. Like I'm still trying to figure it out.
And like
Uh,
and you also have to call out, a lot of that nah, damn, I want to really be careful with my words here, but the idea that we're all gonna make it is this, it's like this chant that like you see in like the NFT space specifically, right?
mm-hmm,
Which at its core is a nice like message, right?
mm-hmm.
But what some people change into is where like you can't speak negatively, or you can't really give feedback on certain things.
Yeah,
You have to One of the things I hope we continue to teach here is you have to be realistic about what you're doing here, right? You're
mm.
investing your money into something that's super volatile and you're not really sure in whatever way you're
Wild
doing it,
assets.
right?
Yeah,
Whatever way you're doing it, whether it's just participating in the blockchain by holding like Bitcoin, or holding ETH or Sol, or whatever, Shibu, whatever you got into, right? If you're
mm.
just participating by holding that, or you're into DeFi, NFTs, all these other things, you got to understand the risk that you're taking, and you can't live in a dreamland where everybody's
Mm-hmm.
gonna make money, right? Because don't we know how this world works? People
Mm-hmm.
make money and people lose money, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a race for kind of getting that wealth. Not to get all fucking philosophical and everything, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No
it,
way.
but it,
Yeah.
but that's the system. Just don't be realistic with yourself. Be responsible and
Mhm.
careful with your money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. Okay, so those are some of the highlight tweets that we saw Web3 this week. Send us some. Feel free to DM us if you see something funny or something cool or something interesting. Like you said, check out that text thread. Joe, do you have anything else before we close up the show here?
Yeah, someone guess what next country Nick is gonna hit before he comes back to see his friends in where we live. The right guess is going to get an NFT for me sometime in like the next 10 years. I promise you. I don't know when, but I'll figure it out.
Mid some nonsense. Okay, cool. So that was the another episode of the Kickbox Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We have a great guest
Woo!
next week. Super exciting. So make sure to tune in. Once again, my name is Nick,
And I'm Dro.
and this is the Kickbox Podcast. We'll catch you next week. Peace every Wednesday.
Boom.
All right, let's listen to that first.
I'm jumping on it.